News regarding the Australian student visa 2024 that Australian government now planning to give visas. So what is actually going on? After many days and after many months, there is little good news for Australian students because current refusals are so much high. And what is the actual real story? When this government, Australian current government, came into existence, they gave a lot of Australian student visas. Their slogan was very different than today because their slogan was that they will allow the Australian students to come to Australia. Even some applicants who were not eligible to study in Australia according to their applications, even they were given visas. Mean if you are a living man and you are applying for Australian students in that time, your visa is there and you entered Australia. So what was the story according to the sources when number of the students became so much high? Housing crisis raised in Australia, and due to this housing crisis, now once again the rules changed for Australian students. First time they took very long applicant of Australian students, even for 6 months the visa officer were pending that decisions and decisions were not coming. And what happened later on? Later on they suddenly started refusals. Now currently refusals are going on. So this is one of the great news of immigration history of international students out of these three big countries: Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, and USA. Australian student visas are biggest now currently in these months. Almost 4 to 5% visas are being given to the Asian students, and most of the students visas are being refused. But now currently, what is the actual scenario? In July 2024, this government is going to take action, mean that they are going into elections and they are announcing elections. So that is, you can say this is election year. You can say they have to decide about their elections. When they came into when they entered into the government, their slogan was that they will allow the immigration and they will finish the 1 million backlog of applications, and almost 6 lakh applications were processed. And they were lucky in the sense some industries were reviving, and some industries were reviving from the COVID crisis, and they need skilled workers, so they filled up all backlog of applications and they entered skilled worker into the industries. And after filling up the people in the industries, a lot of people were employed in Australia and they were giving residency, PR, and permanent residency. But now suddenly, when housing crisis raised and criticism from Australian citizens that housing prices are raised and we are feeling difficulty due to the migrants, suddenly Australian Immigration Department and the new current government changed the rules for especially for international students, and they thought that all scenario victims are international students. They did not think at any other angles. They only think that these are the students who are coming here and they are making the housing rates high. Although this was decision of this current government to give maximum visa, I can say some visas were unchecked, and many applicants, I myself saw documents of some individuals. If visa officer little a bit strict, they were not able to enter into Australia, but they were given visas. But now currently what is going on, even genuine students are applying, they are not getting visas. So what is the policy adopted by Australian Immigration Department? First of all, they are making changes in Australian visa rules, and they change the rules a lot. And the financial statement, the bank statement has been raised. Like Canada, they are also checking the things by themselves. GST was introduced, I mean they need to check the students directly rather the consultant, and they would like to talk with directly with the student, either they are genuine or not genuine. One thing is sure, when students are applying for Australia, you can't dissect the heart, you can't dissect the brain. Whatever the student is writing, you can't accept the statement. It's very difficult. Whatever I am consultant, I can understand. It's very difficult. I am going to tell you one thing. The students in the 5 years, 10 years from Asian countries especially who are moving to Australia, if they are writing in their statement of purpose that they will come back according to GTE, because I'm talking about GST now with Australia immigration system introduced, and they think that GST will work more. So it's learning for Australian immigration system as well. Only 1% students were thinking that they will come back. 99% students in the last 5 years from India, from Pakistan, from Asian countries, and from African countries, they were having in a mind that they will get the permanent residency of Australia. So it means that it's little bit fake offers going on by Australian immigration themselves. You are asking student, would you like to come back after completion of your education, and your primary destination is education? No doubt they are not fake students. They want to study. They are paying high fee to the universities. And now currently what is going on, the universities entry points are little bit almost decreased. So there are two type of cycles are going on. Students enter universities, and one big statement I am giving, almost 1.5 billion, 80 million, 80 billion dollars were the earning of the Australian government by international students. You can assess how much fee paid by international students. They are highly paid customer for Australia. They don't get the education. Sometimes they become very skillful person after education, and they took part in economy of Australia by working in multinational companies. So it's this statement that you will come back. Students, according to GST, GTE, will say, I will come back. But student is telling by tongue. Mind is telling, no, I'm not coming back. Just I am visa for visa. And consultant straightforward told, which is very wrong, to the students, just write in SOP that you will come back according to GTE, GST. If the student will write the correct statement, true statement, technically the honest person should be given visa. When he will write that I will not come back and my plan is that I will complete my education, of course I will study in university, I will complete my degree, but my plan is that I will stay in Australia and I will work in company and I will get work permit, I will get bridging visa, then I will try to get PR. Nobody will give him visa. So that's the point. That's the point. So GST, GTE not matters. When Australian government wants, visas will come. And that happens when the start of this new government was there. No SOP was being studied. Just they need to show their academic documents, financial statement and admission. And those students were given. Now, each thing is clear. SOP is 100% perfect. Student is 100% genuine. First the pending for 6 months and then refusals. So there are two standards going on. So I will say one thing, that new government now, this new government actually is finished the tenure now, and they are waiting in July 2024. Might be new elections announced in Australia, and then new policy, immigration policy will come, because this immigration policy in which copy and paste refusal will not work. It's really deteriorated when genuine students. I am not in favor that you give visas to all. Even the students who are not eligible to give them visa, I am not in favor. I'm not in the favor when you genuine students who are technically asset of Australia, Canada, and you are going to refuse, and they are highly paid as a customer, and they study in your universities, and they became the part of the GDP ratio of the country. They should be highly respected.